What is new homes HST and what is HST rebate? That is what I'm going to talk about today. Hi, I'm Sushma and I'm a realtor with Century 21 Green Realty here in Toronto. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to my channel and ring the bell because I talk about latest developments in pre-construction and resale real estate markets in Toronto areas and beyond. HST is a harmonized sales tax. It's a blend of federal and provincial tax. Buying real estate is fun and exciting, but as soon as you hear HST, there is confusion. Why do I have to pay HST on my home purchase? In general terms, you have to pay this tax only on a new home purchased from a builder and not on resale homes. But it is not as simple as that. New condo and home developers already factor in the HST rebate into their price, assuming the purchaser is going to live in his or her home. If the purchaser is buying as an investment, then this rebate is added back. So who can receive HST rebate in Ontario? Both end users as well as investors purchasing a new built house or condo can receive HST rebate. Also, a buyer who buys a new built residence that was never lived in can also receive this rebate. If you're an end user buying a pre-construction home in the Greater Toronto area, you'll automatically receive the HST rebate as most developers already factor in the rebate into their pricing. Also, in this new property is sold within the initial 1 year window, the CRA will require you to pay back the HST rebate in full. Here is an important tip to remember. It is critical to take all steps in claiming the new home as your principal residence. This includes changing address on your driver's license, changing utilities in your name. Also, only someone directly related to the new home buyer can occupy the property in order to claim it as a principal residence. For example, children, parents, siblings, spouse or common law partners. Other relations like uncles, aunts, cousins are not considered as directly related. Investors are also eligible for HST rebate. They must apply to the CRA under the new residential rental rebate to receive the rebate. Now there are some conditions to fulfill before putting an application to the CRA. You must have a lease agreement for at least 1 year of the condo or the house. Must be leased to a tenant for at least 12 months after closing. Also, unlike the end user, an investor must pay the entire HST upfront at closing. CRA will send the rebate check a couple of months after the application is received. Here's an important point to remember. If the property is flipped in the first year, the investor will not get the rebate, or if you receive the rebate, you will have to pay it back in full. Is there any time limit to apply for HST rebate? Yes, there is. You can apply for the rebate up to a maximum of 2 years after the closing date. After 2 years, you're not eligible to apply. How much is the HST and HST rebate? HST in Ontario is 13%, 5% GST and 8% PST. Rebate amount varies according to the home price. In Ontario, maximum amount available for provincial portion of HST is $24,000. For 5% federal portion of HST, maximum rebate is $6,300 up to a pre-tax value of $350,000. After $350,000 to $450,000, this rebate for federal portion is gradually taken away and no rebate is allowed for properties over $450,000. Here's an example of how this works. Let's assume an end user and an investor both buy a condo priced at $600,000 in the same pre-construction launch. Both pay same deposit amount on the closing date. After a few years, the end user will pay only the closing cost as the HST is already factored in. The investor, on the other hand, will have to pay the rebate portion of the HST, which equals to the maximum of $24,000 on $600,000 home. This info is presented as a high-level view of HST that applies to new home and should be considered as a starting point for new home buyers and investors. If you're considering buying a new home, always consult with a tax consultant or a lawyer for details on how HST and HST rebate will apply in your own case. I hope you find this information useful. Please press the like icon and add your comments below and share this video. Also consider subscribing to my channel as I release new videos about real estate market every week. See you in my next video.